not shortly thereafter, Pat and Steve moved to Kenwood because of what they learned through Grandma and Papa, I guess. And if you didn't know, or I remind you right now, Steve and Patty rented a house directly behind Grandma and Papa's. Just turned out that
Mom
way.
just drove me by that last time I visited. Yeah.
So I call it kissing backyards. Their backyards kissed.
Yeah.
So Patty used to say, I'd go over and talk to Grandma and Papa over the fence. Hey, Papa, and Papa had a little garden and, growing zucchinis and tomatoes and all that. Super proud of his little garden that he had because they had a big lot and they had some space there, And so that was unique. So after Grandma and Papa move up here, Pat and Steve move up and they rent the place and they're not yet married. They're boyfriend, girlfriend. And then Dad starts investigating Santa Rosa. And then Dad and Mom move up to Santa Rosa. And that was 76 when I opened the office. And I said, so you guys are moving? And they said, yes, we are. You're going to Santa Rosa. You're leaving the city. Yes, we are. I said, I just opened a real estate office. I could use some help maybe once in a while. Well, we wish you luck. And good luck and goodbye. That's all I got. Good luck and goodbye. Oh, you leaving me? Yeah, we're leaving. So there I was, all alone, starting my new office. And 1977, guess who tails everybody? Jim Burke, buying the Russian River house. So all the migration went north, starting with Papa and Grandma. And how great it's been and how beautiful. It's an hour and a half up here. So it's back and forth. It's not as if you're going up to Tahoe, it's 4.5 hours and 4.5 hours back. How are you going to enjoy a weekend with 8 hours of driving? Right. It'll take you till Friday night to get up there. Then you have to leave early Sunday. You get Saturday and that's it. Right. Well, up here, I used to work on Sundays at open house. Start at 2:00 in the afternoon, purposely. And just run the open house from 2 to 4 for showings of property. I'd sit on the house, so-called, what they called it. Helen did a lot of that. She said, I spent half my life sitting on houses, meaning conducting open houses, and sitting in your car.
Sitting there waiting for people to come through it.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so the beauty of that, so close and yet far enough away to escape the city and all that, the city, the problems or whatever else you want to call it. And just an escape because I thought I was destined for a standard office job, 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. Get off Friday nights at 5 o'clock. And fortunately, thanks to my father, we learned about vacation homes. And he bought the house in Rio Negro because my sisters bugged the hell out of him. That's how we ended up buying the house in Rio Negro. Oh. We were in Fairfax, and we enjoyed Fairfax. And Fairfax is even closer. Fairfax was only 45 minutes away. And there used to be a place in Fairfax. You guys have never been to Fairfax, have you?
I don't think so.
Marin Town and Country Club. Beautiful recreation park. I think they had 3 or 4 swimming pools, tennis courts, a sitting area. People sat around the pools and such. Snack barn, the whole thing, and it was right there in Fairfax. We'd go down and spend the day, get sunburned as hell, and enjoy this Marin Town and Country Club. They had a movie theater we used to go to, nice restaurants we used to go to. Dad liked the bars in Fairfax, and so we were settled. So all of a sudden, in the 60s, 62, I'm 10 years old, your mom is 17, she's saying, oh, we need a place at the river. The river? What? The Russian River. They have dances up there. And
so some of her friends were doing that. And she
yeah,
was probably,
exactly right.
Yeah,
exactly right. So then Patty gets in, joins the club, bugging Dad. Yeah, we need a place up the river. And so finally, I guess he just said, all right. So he buys a place at the river. After renting here, which was the beginning, and then he bought the place thanks to my sisters. So I thank them to this day. Thank you for bugging Dad the way you did, and got us in a foothold at the river.
Right.
And so, because I enjoyed the river and knew the river from age 6, it was not specific to my finding an out-of-town place. I didn't say it has to be at the river and the whole thing, but it sure as hell was convenient, and I knew that it was a short distance to the city and such. So when the opportunity came, when I talked to these people, hi, I'm Jim Burke. I just opened an office. This is a year after I opened. Simply introducing myself. If I can be of help to you in real estate needs, please let me know. And they said, thank you, Mr. Burke. We don't have intentions right now to sell the house in San Francisco, but we were thinking of selling a house that we own at the Russian River. The Russian River? I said, I've been going up there since I'm 6 years old. I said, where is the place and all that? And they said, oh, here's the address. And I didn't ask for a key. I thought that's a little too presumptuous, and they didn't quite know me. So I thought, no, don't ask for a key, but can we go take a look in anticipation of listing it for sale? Act as a broker and sell the place. Dad and I come up here. We go all the way up to Cazadero, the town of Cazadero, looking for Old Cazadero Road.
Oh.
So we missed by about
Oh, yeah.
10 miles. There an old we talked to somebody walking on the street or something. Is there an Old Cazadero Road here? No, I never heard about that one. No, Cazadero. Well, it was here, of course, and we learned, and then finally we saw the place and admired it. And Dad's listening to me saying, it's in good condition, and there's somebody making a turn, smashing my fence here. These jackasses, they get right up to the fence. Idiots. He's not gonna make it either.
Is it a truck?
Yeah, it's a big van.
I have video. I have video
So you
evidence.
have to
If
back up twice.
he hits your fence, I have video evidence.
Man, you bet. Well, we can go out and catch him.
He's gone.
Where was I?
Oh, Cazadero, you guys missed it by 10 miles.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Admiring the house.
Yeah, I'm admiring the place. So he says, if you're in love with this place so much, why don't you buy it? Ding! The light bulb, as in cartoons, light bulb goes on above a cartoon
Yeah.
character. I thought of something. Yeah, why don't I buy the place? So I ended up buying the place. But I had later learned that this road, called Old Cazadero Road, actually is the old route to the town of Cazadero.
Oh, I was going to ask you that. So then why is
Right.
it named Old Cazadero?
Exactly correct.
Oh, and horse and buggy used to go this way then, right?
Well, the road was built by the Chinese,
Oh,
who also built the railroad system in California.
Oh.
Built this road. And I just learned about a month ago from a book I'm reading in the bathroom here about the Russian River, there was a railroad that went up this road
really?
to the town of Cazadero. In the 20s and 30s, people came up here by rail.
Oh.
There was no highway coming up
Right.
here in the whole
No,
thing.
101.
And River Road and 116, especially this most immediate highway, was the railroad route that continued up Monorail and the whole thing and went to the coast, I guess. But this Old Cazadero Road led to the town of Cazadero, approximately probably 5 miles as the crow flies, but 10 miles by highway and
As
such.
the crow flies. That's important.
And there was an actual railroad that ran on this road,
That's so cool.
built by the Chinese immigrants.
Wow.
Whoa, I said to somebody, this is historic too.
Yeah.
My God, the place. I never knew about the railroad being here. And what they had up here was what they call narrow gauge railroad. Narrow gauge meant that it was more narrow rails. And perfect for the river because they're sneaking through all these redwood trees.
Right.
So they had the especially narrow railroad that they used for logging, very importantly, and they used to send logs down the Russian River after they were cut and such, and send them down to a sawmill by river. And I don't know, perhaps they could have used this creek as well during winter times anyway, to do the same things. They'd float the logs and then they grab them at the sawmill and saw them up. And
Cool.
a lot of the trees up here called first growth redwood built the houses in San Francisco.
Oh,
So there's a
I
San
didn't know
Francisco
that.
connection too. So perhaps, Pacific Heights, for example, probably one of the most expensive areas, was all old growth